Hi, this is my third pastel technique video for beginners. In a previous video, I drew a picture of a pair of trainers. I transferred the image to the pastel paper by printing it through an inkjet printer and then covered the image in pastel. In my second video, I did a picture of 3 apples using a soft pastel on the back of the image to transfer it to the pastel paper by pressing down on a pencil. In this video, I'm going to show you how to paint a cupcake. And this time we're just going to draw an outline of the image using a pastel pencil. The image itself will be coloured in using Pan Pastels, and also I shall be using a stick pencil to bring out some of the detail. Pan Pastels are a highly pigmented powder that are applied using a soft applicator and form transparent layers much akin to the use of watercolour. So home territory for me. So let's start that image by drawing the outline. So now we've got that image on the pastel paper, let's start by painting in the cherry. Pan pastels are really useful for this, as the transparent colour really allows you to get that glow of the red cherry. So first of all, I'm just going to block it in using a very light red, moving down into the shadow area of the icing, pulling in some blue and white to create that shadow. Icing isn't generally white, it is sort of a greyish white, and that's what we're going to paint in. Now adding some red and yellow and blue to make a brown to make the cake topping that we're just going to pull in again using the soft applicator tool in the direction of the way the cake moves. Moving on to the wrapper of the cake, I'm just going to gently pull the brush down the spines of the wrapper, filling in the bottom as the cake mixture tends to condense at the bottom and you don't get so many spines. Later on in the picture, I'll use a stick pencil to go over that. Adding the shadow of the cupcake, I then pull that shadow into the cupcake itself, again helping to merge all the colours and unify the painting. Also going to use a white pastel at this point to bring some more detail into the spines and also make the top of the cake case edges quite tight. Using a dark blue pastel, I'm going to pull in the colour to the base of the cupcake cake where it's lifted off the ground, so adding that detail in now. And then using some pan pastel to pull that colour out into the main shadow area, darkening it towards the cake base and lighting it towards the edge of the shadows. Adding some shadow again to the cherry to help bring that real transparency out and making the shadow on the top of the cake more relevant. Moving into the final stages of this painting now and going back into the cherry, adding some white highlights to really make that cherry shine, and also going back in with the pan pastel around the base of the cherry, pulling that out to make it look more real, more heavy in the cake. Adding some more blue to the icing as well, just to grey up the icing and make it feel a bit more natural. Just titivation at this point. I'm also going into the spines of the cake case and back into the shadow to bring out some more of that dark tone against the light tone. Adding some dark tone to the right hand side of the painting to help with the shadow area, and using the applicator on the edge rather than just the full base of the thing helps to get some of those details and some of those nice sharp edges that I need to make this picture show up. Adding some more white now onto the spines of the case to help bring them out. And back into the top again to bring some edges back to the cupcake case. And more blue just to separate the base of the cake from what it's sitting on. And finally, just a bit more dark brown pastel just to bring the edges of that cake case out, and using some pan pastel back up into the cake to help define the image slightly more. Applicator is quite fun to use and you can get a bit carried away with it, so I had to be a bit careful with that. And finally, you can rub out pan pastels. So the area of the shadow I wasn't quite happy with and I managed to use a normal eraser just to take out that pastel and then use some more pan pastel to build up the edge where I'd erased. So there you go. That's our cupcake in pan pastel.